Hello everyone and welcome back to Resonant Rise. Episode 4, this one, and I've finished off my very basic sorting system. So I increased the barrels quite a bit to up to here. Obviously this one's empty. This one isn't connected, but I thought I'd just put it with the rest anyway. So I haven't changed this chest. This is the same input chest into this system. But it comes around here, and then each one of these has different filters on. I believe the only one that doesn't have filters on is this one and possibly this one. Whereas this one has most of the filters. It's filtered for obviously 9 items. There's more than 9 items in here, but you know, can't have them all. And then this is the default chest, where if it doesn't have somewhere to go, it all goes here. I do need to put covers on top of that, but it's kind of cool actually seeing that. But I need to break the glass to do it, or break off all these things and put it on top. I'll do it sometime. Anyway, so I completed that, and I also did some research like I said I was going to. I managed to gain quite a lot of aspects, so I've pretty much got the majority of them, I think, at least. Yeah, so that's one thing. And the one thing I forgot to do, or I cut out of the editing process last time, was the research of Thorncraft. Now, with Thorncraft, the research has changed a bit since Thorncraft 3 and Thorncraft 4. So I'm just going to show you how to do this, and then we'll get on to the thing I actually want to do, which is build our first factory. So, to begin with, when you research something, you end up with this thing. Now, this is the starting node, and this will be the direction of the travel. So it will be, it's like a little mini game. So what happens is this starts here and then has to go through each of these nodes. But the only way to get that to happen is clicking through random ones of these and finding out which ones eventually will be useful. So in this case, Lux, being Arcane Lamp, is useful. So if we hit this, as you can see, these two runes activate, and now the line goes from here through these two and onto this one. Then there are other, for this one specifically, there are different elements as well. Now, before the episode, I actually found them. So as you can see, the ones that are wrong, I've got an X by them. So these are the ones I tried and didn't get right. And you occasionally get ones with a, let's see if I can find one. I don't think I have one for this. It shows up as a little red fish, and what happens is some of these get removed. Because one way of finding out which of these you need is to look for the ones that you don't have a lot of. So in this case, there's only 2 of these symbols on this whole page. Where this symbol here, there's actually quite a lot of them. So the chances is it's not this one. That way you can preemptively strike it. Because if you get these in the wrong position, and say this aspect is over here, you've then got to use another, say another piece of Lux. In fact, as we got a few Lux, we can move around. So say this one is over here, then it won't be of any use to us over here. So we have to then click this, unlock it, and then we can eventually move it back over here, and we should be able to move her again. So will that connect? Yeah, that should do. Right, so it should connect like this, and then eventually you'll get some extra symbols. So I've got a symbol up here. I could unlock it and try and get this symbol, but luckily I know that there's this one over here which connects them all up. So the line should go from here around here all the way around and eventually connect up all the nodes. So you don't need all the symbols in the path, you just need all the nodes in the path, and then simply right click it and you've researched it. Anyway, so this episode I want to actually start on a tree farm. The idea of the tree farm is basically just to gain wood as a resource that I can use. I can also turn it into charcoal, and I can produce energy from the saplings. So that's the idea of it. So I'm going to grab a few of the resources that I need, and then I will meet you over where I'm actually going to place the tree farm. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure how big the radius of this farm is going to be just yet. But I cleared out a small area, and if I need to make it bigger, I can obviously make it bigger. It's not too far from the house, but this is going to be the location of my first factory, as I've been calling it. I'm not going to build anything special around it just yet. especially in the episode. That's going to be built during, like between episodes. But I will get the working interior going on camera. So first thing I want to do is I want to plant down a Mine Factory Reloaded planter. Now what this does is it has multiple slots here, and this is a inventory, so this can carry the stuff that you want it to plant. And then you have a filter on this side which is representative of these colors here. So obviously white being in the middle is the direct center, and then in this corner you can see purple and green. So purple on this side, green on this side. So it's the direction I'm facing is where it's going to plant. Now by default it's only going to plant, I believe it's 3 by 3, so it's not very much. It's basically going to plant as many as you can see, but you can add upgrades to it, which I've got 2 here, and to both copper. If I throw this in, it's going to increase the size of it. So to first show you, I'll just have it with no upgrade in it, show you how big it is, and then I'll throw in the upgrade and show you how much more it increases. See, as you can see, it's placed saplings all the way around. And that's because it's got no defaults, no settings. As soon as I break them, it will replant them. There you go. But if I set the default of, say I want oak saplings in this bit and jacaranda saplings in this part, and then I break them, it's going to replant them in the order that I've just stated. So, like I said before, its direction is this way. So you've got the 4 jacaranda saplings. Obviously, if I do that, it should place one on top eventually. And then the others are oak. So that's basically how that works. Now if I throw in a upgrade, like I said before, it's going to get a little bit bigger. So I'm going to need a lot more saplings, but you know, it gives us an idea of how big this thing is. Now what I'm actually going to do, and I just realized it's probably going to take a bit longer than I thought, but I'm going to clear out a bit of stuff under here, and I'm going to lay out a design, and I'll come back once I've done it. Okay, well that took a little bit longer than expected. I didn't have some of the resources I had to get, so I had to go and find them, and that was blaze rods and slimes. So yeah, that wasn't easy. Anyway, so this is the setup I've come up with. And what we have here is, as I said before, we've got the planter underneath here. I don't know how far in it is actually anymore. Good guess. So we've got the planter here, and we have a harvester here. Now this is going to need a upgrade as well. And what this is set to is to shear the leaves. By the way, this cleared out the saplings before, that's why it's already got sludge in it. The shear the leaves is set to no, small shrooms no, and jungle wood no. Now this can be yes if it really wants to. It's not really going to make much of a difference. And it's currently actually not powered, but it will be powered soon, and I'll show you how. And then the output is to a diamond chest that I created. Now I'm not going to be pumping sludge out, at least for now, because I don't really need the byproducts from it for when you do cook it up. So for now I'll just leave it as it is. And the other thing I've got, obviously the planter that I showed you before, and I've set myself up a biofuel generator here and a bioreactor down here. And what's going to happen is, as this collects the wood and other things like that, the stuff's going to go into here, and then I'm going to pull it out with this item duct, which I've got a pneumatic servo for. And I'm going to set the whitelist for all the saplings that I want to pull out, and these are the different saplings here, and I'll show you why I've got so many different ones in a sec. So these are going to get pulled out, and then they're going to go into the planter first, because this is set as a dense root. And this basically means this is about 1,000 blocks further away than this is. So it's going to come in this way, and then this is going to be the shortest route. So it's going to try and fill the planter up. And what I'll need is, well, I'll need the saplings first, but I can fill the rest of them with dirt so it doesn't completely fill up. And then any excess saplings are going to go down into here and into the bioreactor. Now, for now, I'm just going to have it set up normally, so it's just going to do that, and it won't have any different routes, but eventually I'm going to change the chest up there and change it around a bit, so the excess saplings will be stored somewhere else. But anyway, for now, that's what I'm going to do. Then I've got a fluid duct here, which is going to be pumping out the whatever this stuff's called, the biofuel, something like that. And it's going to pump it into the generator, which is going to then create power for both the planter and the harvester. Now, to get it jump started, I've got a couple of steam dynamos and a aqueous accumulator. These are just filling these with water. And then all I need to do is throw some coal into each, and they should start to power it up. Right, now the reason I've got so many saplings, well, this bioreactor is it creates more biofuel the more different types of items are in, and it will do a maximum of 9. So as you can see, there's 9 slots here. So what I've got these for is I'm going to set my planter to plant as many different types, and obviously this takes up 9 as well. So I'm going to set it so at least this many saplings, which I believe I've got 9 here. Oh no, 8. I've only got 8. So I've 8 different types of saplings. And then the next one's probably going to be oak for the last one. But it will plant them as much as it can, and then any excess saplings are going to store down here. I've got something else for this as well, but for now I'll just set this up. So I'm going to put all these in, and then I will set it up. Whoops, that's what I was meant to do, not the other one. And I'll do this and I'll come back. Okay, so I've got the planter set up planting. I've taken one of each of the saplings out, and I'm going to set this this whitelist to only remove any of the saplings, and then that way it will leave the wood and any apples and any other byproducts that are created in the chest. So that's what the chest is for. That will store all the wood, the excess wood, and like I said, any byproducts like apples. So the whitelist is set to pull, and then I do need to give this a quick wrench so it's facing this way, and that way these should eventually get pulled out. If I set this to this one, there we go, there's one pulled out and there's the second pulled out, and then they're going to travel down here, and as I said, they're going to choose this route first, and if not, then they're going to go into here. So let's put all these back in. Oh, we don't have a slot for this. Okay, then there we go. Oh no, that's why we've got too much of this stuff in. So that's set up. I've left this one blank, so basically what it's going to do is if any excess saplings, it's just going to throw them into that, no matter which one it is. So that's pretty much everything. So as you can see, it's planted down all what it's got. It doesn't appear to be planting these ones. Maybe I can't plant these. Back in a sec, just going to check something. Okay, so that seems to hold true. It doesn't appear to want to plant the stained saplings from Project Red, but it does mean we still have 4 different types of sapling that it does plant. So we've got the birch, oak, magic sapling, and the jacaranda. So obviously we're missing the birch in here. So I'm going to let that run anyway. It doesn't matter too much. It's just to try and increase the efficiency of the bioreactor. So all that should be working. All I need to do then is give these some of this, some coal, so it can power itself up. And then I need to set this bioreactor. Let's just turn the sound down a second. I need to set this bioreactor to not consume the saplings immediately, because as soon as I drop a sapling into this thing, it instantly consumes it. Every single one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a computer, place that down, and I'm going to create a program on startup. And what the program is going to do is it's going to emit a redstone signal to this, which will stop it activating. And then when it, every so often, it's just going to periodically turn off the redstone signal and let the machine run, and then turn it back on again. Simple enough code. We want to do while true. Easy enough. So that's all it's going to do. It's going to boot up, because of it, I've set it to the starter command. It's going to boot up on startup. This keeps it running constantly. And then what it's going to do is it's going to set the side of right. It's going to emit a redstone signal, so that's the true part. It's going to sleep currently for 20 seconds. And then once that's finished, it's going to set the side off for 6 seconds, and then it's going to end. But actually when it ends, it's just going to repeat itself and start again. So that's it. Save that, exit, and then you hold Control and R to reset the computer. You'll see this come up. And then what it will do is this won't be activated, so if we throw the sapling in, it will move down to the bottom, and you'll see the efficiency comes to 5. Now if we just quickly grab one of these saplings, and we throw this in as well, this moves down here, and the efficiency goes to 25. And then eventually, after the, oh, it's just done it then, after the 20 seconds, it turns it off, these get consumed, and then it'll turn itself back on again. So, as you can see, it works. I'm just going to change this down to a longer time, and then we're done. So I slept through the night, and I actually set my computer to a 2-minute wait, and then it will turn on for 6 seconds, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to keep an eye on this over the between episodes, and if anything breaks, obviously I'll come back with a fix and I'll tell you what I did with it. But if it doesn't, then I will actually build a small building around it, and then yeah, any extra saplings I find that are different to these, I'll add it to the system. But that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching episode 4 of Resonant Rise. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you later.